Today, we're going to go over some of the biggest mistakes investors have made with 1031 exchanges, because one wrong move can cause you thousands of dollars in unexpected taxes. Jim had just sold a small apartment complex for a profit of $500,000 and planned on doing a 1031 exchange, but he made one fatal mistake. He assumed he had plenty of time to find a replacement property and wanted to take his time picking the perfect next investment. However, the 45-day identification deadline snuck up on him. On day 40, he realized he hadn't officially identified a property. In a panic, he identified 3 random properties at the last minute, none of which he was under contract for. By the time the 180-day closing period ended, he had failed to secure financing and all 3 properties had slipped away. The result? The 1031 exchange failed. He was hit with a $120,000 tax bill on his capital gains, and his investment strategy turned into a costly lesson in poor planning. The lesson? Start your property search early and don't wait until the last minute to identify. Get pre-approved for financing before selling your original property to avoid delays. Sarah made a costly mistake when she tried to keep her investment property within the family. She planned to sell her rental property to her brother, Mike, and then use a 1031 exchange to buy a new investment property. What she didn't realize was the IRS had strict related party rules, requiring both parties to hold their properties for at least 2 years. A year later, Mike decided to flip the property for a quick profit, which triggered an IRS review. The result? The IRS retroactively disqualified Sarah's 1031 exchange since her related parties sold too soon. She was forced to pay $75,000 in unexpected taxes, and she realized too late that the deal could have been structured differently if she had known the rule. The lesson? If you're doing a 1031 exchange with a related party, both sides must hold their properties for at least 2 years to stay compliant. Always consult with a tax advisor before selling to a related party to avoid costly surprises. Michael thought he knew everything there was to know about 1031 exchanges, but he overlooked one critical detail that cost him thousands of dollars. He sold a commercial building for $2 million and planned to reinvest through a 1031 exchange. He found a replacement property he loved, but it was only worth $1.8 million. He decided to keep the extra $200,000 in cash, not realizing that the IRS considers any leftover cash as boot, which is taxable. The result? Michael had to pay capital gains taxes on the $200,000 cash he kept. He ended up paying tens of thousands in taxes unexpectedly, and he later realized he could have avoided this by rolling the full $2 million into a new property or using the excess funds for capital improvements. The lesson? To fully defer taxes, reinvest all your proceeds into a replacement property of equal or greater value. If you're considering pulling cash out, talk to your CPA first to understand the tax implications. A failed 1031 exchange can lead to unexpected taxes, penalties, and lost investment opportunities. Whether it's missing deadlines, violating related party rules, or leaving money on the table, proper planning is the key to a successful tax-deferred exchange. A 1031 exchange can be a powerful wealth-building tool, but simple mistakes can lead to huge tax liabilities. Missing the 45-day identification deadline, failing to comply with related party rules, or leaving excess cash on the table as taxable boot can cost investors thousands of dollars. The best way to avoid these pitfalls is to plan ahead, understand the rules, and work with a CPA or 1031 exchange specialist. If you have any further questions on how to avoid 1031 exchange mistakes, feel free to give me a call.